Welcome back to the Lamelight Podcast. I'm here with What Makes Sense, and you're about to listen to their newest single, Rear Window. Guys, we just sent a clip out to the internet. More than likely the chorus of the song. This is a fucking banger. Like, I'm very impressed. Congratulations on this release. Welcome. This is sick, dude. This is nothing like the other singles you've released. Is this the same producer?
It's all the same producer, yeah. It's Chris Piquet at No Boundary Studio. He's our boy.
Well, how'd you meet him? Like, what is going on? Like, the production quality is great of video and audio. Like, you're just tackling everything.
So Chris, we met. He used to be a band called Trophy Wise, which went on to become Makeout. And he left them, started doing a studio. But I had met him in another band I was doing. And a mutual friend we had just kept like pushing us to go work with him. And we linked up with him. He did our whole first EP, Fear and Loathing in the Northeast. He did both singles, and he did now Rear Window. And he's just fucking killing it. He's been up in his game. We've been up in our game. And, you know, he's just killing it. I don't know how else to put it.
Yeah, it's like, I feel like, I mean, this is, Rear Window is probably like one of the, like maybe the third song I recorded with this band. So I'm the newest member in the grand scheme of everything. And it's like we're sort of stepping into a new generation of the band. Not that it's a different band. It's just, I think we fine-tuned everything, despite the weird year that we just had.
Yeah, seriously, a year and a half, basically. It's fucking crazy.
This is sort of a new, it's part of a new studio session that we did in like January of this year, where we had more time. The last time we were in the studio, which we did Groundhog Day and Cary Grant, both, I think they were great songs. I think they came out great, but, you know, it was definitely a different vibe at the time because that was the weekend that everything shut down. That was like March 11th or something, like 2020, because I remember I was supposed to see the Dropkick Murphys in Boston the next day, and that got canceled.
This bastard was going to leave us in the studio because I'm going to record my parts in peace, and I was like, bastard.
It was March 13th. That was it. And yeah, so like this time, I think we not necessarily had more time, but like we had a lot more. We had almost a year to prepare for this and write new material and sort of like sit down and have Eddie, our guitarist, you know, who is new since those last pairs of songs, like, you know, really start to get involved in the process. So
this was the first time too we really started doing like demos. Like before, so when we did Fear and Loathing in the Northeast, like Avery and I didn't really have much demo capability because that was me and him, and then we enlisted some of our friends and we wrote that EP. And then we found Eddie, and Eddie really was the one who brought Groundhog Day. And then Cary Grant was a riff that Avery had been floating around that really him and Eddie just kind of like fleshed out together. And then we brought in Aaron, and then we started working on more from there. And that's where we came up with Rear Window, which started from Eddie was home watching Space Force, that new Steve Carell show.
Oh,
and he wanted to write something spacey sounding. So he sent me like a 30-second clip of like the intro, and it was almost immediately I had that. Well, can you tell me? Like, there's almost immediately it came to me, and I was like, we gotta build off this. We gotta do something with this. It was just one of those songs. The moment you heard it, you knew it was just gonna be something. And then
it sounds like.
So that I threw some vocals on that little 30-second clip, and I sent it back. Everybody's immediately was just kind of like, all right, cool. Like this is something. So then Eddie and Avery and Aaron and I, we all really kind of like hashing out like where we wanted to go with it. And then we sent it to Chris, and Chris is like, I know exactly what to do with this. And it pays to have a producer who's on the same page and who knows their shit. That's the best way to put it.
This is a prime example, and this is what I try to tell underground artists all the time, considering we're both in the underground situation currently, not for long. But the fact that, like, if you don't have that producer that kind of, like, gets your sound, and also helps you mold the structure of the music, it's really going to be hard to have some kind of solidified tunes that you're going to be really happy with, because sometimes it can be like a mess in a sense, like because there's the extra member per se. Perfect example, like Conquer Divide, the metalcore band, they go to Jerry Sturgis all the time, although he is the GOAT in that industry, in that scene. But that's like a perfect producer for them, just like this guy is a perfect producer for you dudes, because not only is it progressing, but you can kind of see and hear like how the sound is evolving, like you said, because Aaron, you guys are like a new member and such, and it's great, but like you can tell that it's really starting to come to fruition.
Yeah, and I think this is, well, there's another song we've also recorded, which is, you know, I'm just biased towards, and it's probably my favorite that we've written, but like
You
Rear
Drop
Window.
that name, I'll slap you right here.
Yeah.
It's literally one room over, dude. Just fucking right hand down.
It's called all right,
Just
yeah,
shit coming
George, I'm
straight.
gonna need you to hit like the bleep button real quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Rear Window, I think is just the fullest song we've written. Yeah, just as like as a new unit. I think it's just got all of the components that we want in the right place, and it's just very much like it's such a testament to what we're gonna end up sounding like, I think, you know, down the road as we write more.
Bro, if this is what you guys are going to start sounding like on a daily basis, I'm fucking all in, dude. And I love the aesthetic too, with like this like 70s like murder situation, dude. Like, what's that about? Like, what inspired that? Because this is a really cool fucking concept for a video.
I will jump right in there because this is one of my favorite things to talk about ever. So if you've looked back through any of our, I do all like the titles, do all the lyrics. I delve into that realm, and I am fucking obsessed with old Hollywood. As you can see, like Cary Grant, like there's just like endless like movie quotes, TV quotes, like layered throughout everything we do. So when Eddie had sent me, which ironically enough, like he sent me Space Force, as he had called it, the first iteration of Rear Window, I happened to have just watched Rear Window with James Stewart and Grace Kehley. And like the whole movie is about, if you haven't seen it, it's about basically James Stewart like busted up his leg. He's in like a New York City apartment. He's like watching the entire neighborhood, and he's like basically he catches his neighbor like committing murder and like almost getting away with it. And I used it as almost like from the perspective of like Grace Kehley, who's like, hey, like don't worry about it, let go of it. And I used it all as like an allegory to like, don't let life pass you by. So when we came to the video, I was like, hey, it's a movie that was made in the 50s. They have like a 50s look. And actually, it was more Aaron's idea than mine. He's like, hey, like let's look real 50s with it.
Nice.
And I was all for it. And then we got hashing out. We had like a few back and forth over how we're going to shoot like what the story was going to be and everything. And then we came across the murder. We said, fuck it, let's just keep it with the murder from the movie and just go that way. And I was a little taken back at how well I played a sociopathic murderer.
Bro, you had a lot of confidence. Like when you like looked directly into the camera, I was like, this dude is fucking saying something, dude. Like he's talking to your soul right now, bro. Like as soon as you look at the camera, I'm like, he might fucking murder me one of these days. I don't fucking know, dude.
I watched that video back. I was like, shit. I went from like, because like anyone knows me, like this kid's a doofy dog, and I watched that video. I was like, damn, that was pretty convincing.
No, dude, it was very convincing, and the fact that like it was just portrayed well, because there's a lot of music videos that get talked about. It's like just the band members alone. It's really hard to capture something from a music video. It's hard to like pay attention to that. Although you technically are doing that with what makes sense with this Rear Window song, but you still have two actors in it, an actor and an actress. But like at the same time, like you still built a story around it. Like it's not just you guys playing music. Like there's a concept to it, and I fucking like that. And that's why it keeps you drawn.
Yeah, when Brandon, our videographer, came, like initially he was like,
Brandon
hey,
Lane. I think it's officially like Brandon Lane Media is his thing, but he's done a bunch of. We're actually probably I think one of like the pure pop punk bands that record with him, because he does a lot of hardcore. There's a few like melodic hardcore bands from our area that work with him, but So like he loves to like I think he enjoys working with us as much as we do enjoy working with him because we can be a little bit more kind of not serious about it, but at the same time it has sort of this overtone of seriousness just with the way he films and produces it all. But yeah, Brandon Lane. Sorry, I'll hand it back to you, Adam.
Well, I was just
gonna
say like
out.
initially, hey man, he needs a shout out. He's the boy.
I'll
But initially,
descriptions for sure.
He'll love everything about that. But initially, like it was just gonna be like us playing. So like if you watch the video, there's like the shots of me like dancing around playing. Like the whole thing of like me getting into the chair was like he's like, let's put this chair here and like have you in the chair and just look disinterested and just go through the song. And it added like so much more to that layer of like this dude literally is like a sociopathic killer.
Yeah, no, you can like I can kind of like read it in your eyes because I'm watching the video right now. And your drummer's got some fucking chops, bro. Holy shit, dude! Some of those fucking rolls on the snare, that shit hits fucking. It's tasty, dude.
So get this.
So we don't actually have a drummer.
yeah. There's actually John. He plays in a band which acronym UGLY, Ugly, out of Rhode Island. They're like
He's best friends with our producer.
Yeah, they work with him too, and they're a band if Panic at the Disco was a little bit harder and was still pop punk band. They're so sick. But anyways, so
Space Heater, that's a song to check out, by the way.
He's an insane drummer, absolutely madman. So he tore up the drums on those. He did all 4 songs that we had recorded back in like January or whatever, in like a matter of 2 hours, maybe.
Wow.
Sight unseen.
Yeah. Just came in and played him.
Crazy dude. But so anyways, he wasn't able to make it that day. So my friend Pat, who I've played in other bands too, just in my youth, was the one. He's the guy with the long hair playing there. But he actually transcribed the song the night before and like learned it all because he thought we were doing a sort of live recorded video. He didn't know we were actually like putting the music over it.
Oh shit!
So when he got there, he's like, "Wait, we're doing multiple takes. What do you mean? And why aren't you guys playing?" I'm like, "Dude, we're just like throwing the song over." He's like, "Oh fuck."
But he was like getting into it. Yeah. He's also too, ironically enough, there's this scene where we're out in the woods. We look up into the window and we see her, like we catch her in the window and we're like, oh shit, she saw us.
Yeah.
That's actually him because she had to leave.
Oh,
so we like rolled,
yeah.
like we had to like flip his hair down a little bit, put the camera up real close to the window and like roll his sleeve up real high to look like a dress. It's actually him just standing there.
He texted me the other day and he's like, fuck, that worked too well. I got to go to the gym.
I gotta fucking get my biceps fucking up and shit.
Yeah.
Wait, so you guys don't have a drummer?
No. Yeah, our buddy Pat, he's in like a jam band, if you believe it or not. Yeah, he's in like a Grateful Dead cover band. So it's funny.
Sick.
He's so versatile though.
We have this guy doing our shows with us in August who, ironically enough, mine and Avery's first band, he was our first drummer in, then he ended up leaving to go to school and shit. And he's doing those shows with us. So my goal is to make him love us and stay full time.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, I'll fill out my resume and send it in to you guys. DM.
I don't think we need it because we know Poeta, so like I think you'd be good to join. I don't think the screening process would take that long, to be honest, George.
Background check, fucking, like how's my credit score, yada yada yada. Like
you bring the drums, I'll bring the whiskey. We'll be good to go.
Fuck yeah, dude, let's go, bruh. Let's go.
You teach me how to grow facial hair, like you're it. So like that's it. That's all it takes.
Bro, I'm so mad. Like, and it's funny because like for my job, like I had to shave my beard off because where I'm working, but the mustache is working, dude. I'm kind of liking it. So I think
it kills.
You're definitely rocking it, my man. There's not a lot of people who rock a good mustache, and you're rocking it well.
Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. And like, I don't know, like it makes me look. What's the word I'm looking for?
Tough as fuck.
Yeah, sure. I'm a softie for sure. Unless you fucking make me see red. I don't know, like not mysterious, but like just fucking like. So my one friend's like, dude, you look edgy as fuck. I'm like, isn't that
Like
usually
this
what I
dude
go for?
probably does his own tattoos.
And they don't look like chicken scratch.
and well.
You got like that like Tom Hardy when he was doing like that Bronson movie. You got like that look going on with the mustache.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I didn't think it was gonna be full, but I'm just keep rocking. But we're not talking about me. We're talking about what makes sense here. Like this shit's really
More
good.
mustache talk.
Or more mustache talk on the Limelight.
What makes
Podcast.
mustache?
Welcome to Mustache Talk.
Welcome to the Flavor Saver webisode.
Welcome to some NPR. We're going to talk about mustaches today and this tone of voice for 3 hours. A lot of mouth noises to come.
Well, I only got this for, the Flavor Savers for eating ass. That's basically what I fucking use it for. That's the only reason why I have it. Anyways, dude, what is the future going forward for What Makes Sense? Like, are you guys trying to get a team around you of label, marketing team, publicists? Like, what's the goal and plan for the present as it sits right now?
My goal is I want to be best friends with the Wonder Years, so they come and play songs like one day. But no, we definitely are like we're trying to like make that push. Like we're all a little bit older, over that 25 hump, and like we really want to do it the right way. Like we want to try and make like a career at this, and like we feel this is our best shot we have at it, and we want to really put our best foot forward. We're doing it musically, we're doing it on the back end, we're doing it on the internet, and we're building a team. We're working with a solid manager right now. He's helping us out with just kind of learning like more of the business and like building to where we want to be, and we're trying to make that run. Like we want to do that label push, all of it. So
yeah, I think it's to basically take it as far as it can fucking go, and of course be like wary of there's a lot of traps, and that's one of the things that I have actually never I've been wanting to address it on our podcast before, but I don't think I've ever brought it up, where it's just like I think there's just such a mass monetization of anything involved with music that like is just I don't think it's necessary. Like everybody's gonna try to make a dime. Like if you're a musician listening right now and you're pretty young at it, like everybody's going to try to make a dime off of you, and you won't necessarily learn how to support yourself or learn how to move forward in your career if you don't learn how to support yourself first, because there's a lot of you can kind of get these pay to play playlists where you're spending all this money on it, but like at the end of the day, just do a DIY at first, get a good team around you. Like once you're at a certain point, the right people will reach out to you. If you're reaching out to like people sort of with these kind of predatory contracts and all that, just watch out for that. And I'm sure George, you could probably attest to this too. It's just like it doesn't just start off like if I just pay all these people, like that's sort of the silver bullet,
But it's not though, because I've seen it fail. So you're absolutely right, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking, I get hit up all the time, like, hey, do you take pay to be promoted on TikTok? Well, here's the thing. Like, one, I'm not a professional at that whole situation. 2, I'll promote you if I like your music. 3, it would be nice, but if I don't think you fit my community, my niche, I'm not going to promote you. And I've seen bands that pay, like you said, as the silver bullet that will fucking help them, gain success, to outlets that have a massive following, and they get shit on because the music's just honestly not good.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
like, it sucks, but, you're going to get a lot of no's in this industry. And like we were talking off the record, like I was so thankful that you were being so proactive about it, about hitting me up, because like, I work a full-time job and fucking I do this, I do TikTok, like it's a lot, and I'm not exhausted to the point where like I'm ready to fucking quit, because that's never gonna fucking happen. But like when we started talking on the phone and shit, like you sent me over this video, and I immediately was like, there's something here, because I put you guys on the playlist before with.
I think you did. I think you did.
Acoustic song. I did Skipping Stone.
You did it for 3.
Yeah,
I think you did all 3 of them.
It was acoustics. It was scene covers, and then it was also just like the next gen one. And I appreciate that so much
Oh,
because
fuck yeah,
that
dude.
has helped us more than you know. I think out of all the playlists we've been on, that has helped us probably like the most. I don't
As
think
far
there's been
as
another playlist with more impact than that.
I had
So,
hit you
like,
up with Skipping Stones. You like I think you posted like the Pop On Networking group about the cover, like a cover playlist you were starting or something like that.
That's right. Yeah.
There was something like that, and like I think that's been the best playlist that song's been on. Like most of that growth I've seen like coming across like our Spotify artist account, everything is from like your playlist. So
That's good because for some reason, like intellectually, I knew that my one video was gonna blow up, and I was like, I should really ask artists before I make this playlist, and then build it, and then make the TikTok video, and then the TikTok video did well. Therefore, I think it's at like 6,000 likes now, but it's basically just building the community in itself. But you guys are doing something right, and I think underground bands really need to take a look at like the full package of what you're doing: the sound, the look, the image. Dude, I could two-step this song very easily. Like it's not even a question. And I
George, you don't
feel
even
it.
know. I would lose my goddamn mind if anybody was even moshing to our songs. We're again, like I said, a young band. We haven't had a pit at one of our shows. I don't think it's since like a college show that you guys played before I joined the band. But like, dude, that's what it's all about. Like, if people feel that they can relate to the song in that way, I think that's sick.
Yeah.
totally
it's
separate
fucking
note, but
everything.
I had a pillow fight at one of my shows once, and that's I think still to this day one of my favorite moments ever.
Wait, who brought the pillows though? You know what I
We
mean?
played
Like,
this fucking pizza place here in Poughkeepsie, and there was these couches.
well, that's
and
pop punk. If it's fucking
yeah,
anything,
and these kids like picked up a bunch of pillows, picked up the couch cushions, it went fucking off, just like beating the shit out of each other in the pit.
I fucking
Would it
love
be
that.
frowned upon to bring our own pillows to a show?
Just chuck them out there.
Does that work?
I don't know. I mean, make a TikTok about it at your next show. Do it, film it, and that's gonna be a trend. Watch, everybody's gonna start bringing pillows to fucking.
I'll cut a
But-
little hole in it too, so all the fucking feathers. Well, you know what? Some people
Yeah.
are allergic to down. Like, I don't know. We could get sued. There's always some crazy
I'm gonna
shit
throw
out
it out
there.
there. I'm allergic to down, so I don't think I'll be singing very well if I'm sneezing my ass off.
Yeah,
Filled
so just
with,
bring
like,
all
cotton
cotton
balls.
Just cotton
Yeah.
balls, dude.
Yeah,
Just fucking
yeah.
fill it up, dude.
But like back to your point before, like my goal is like when we play Rear Window, like that part where the music stops and it's just me, like I don't want to fucking sing that. I want you to punch me.
No.
I want you
That's
to sing it.
what I'm fucking saying, dude. I'm listening, dude. I listen to this in my car, driving to Chick-fil-A at least like fucking 10 times, blasting it, and I'm like, dude, like I already know their vision for this song. Like, you want the crowd to fucking speak to you on that part.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
literally handing the microphone in the crowd at that part before that drum roll comes in. It's fucking sick, dude. You know
Yeah.
exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, like I want people like, and this is like a note to anyone because like when I first got in the scene, I was like shy. I'm like, man, I don't want to like crowd surf for this and that. Like I don't want to be that guy. Then I started doing it, and I was just like, that's what I fucking want. Like I want you to come to my show. Like I don't. You can listen to my song all the time if you want to hear me. Like I want you to come to my show, and I want you to leave knowing that like the greatest thing that night was like you got to sing that part in the mic. Like that's what I want.
It's so crazy that you mentioned the Wonder Years because I got a small vibe from this song. Very small. But it's still relevant.
I'm a massive Wonder Years fan. Like
Yeah?
that's like when I started like a pop like when I started like a band, like my three like go to fallbacks. One's random, but the other two are sort of like strung out the Wonder Years and Matchbox 20.
Yeah. Oh, sick. Yeah, they did something right. The Wonder Years definitely like solidified a very, very tight pop punk scene in Philadelphia, which is I'm happy for them. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you and say I love the Wonder Years, but I think their music's great. I just never. It took me a little bit to get into their music, probably because it was very different. But nonetheless,
Yeah,
they were
like
still good. Like Soupy's a goddamn fucking killer vocalist, bro. Like
yeah.
that's what. If it wasn't for Soupy, I probably wouldn't be attracted to the music, to be honest.
Well, yeah, and like the thing with me was just like when I was like relatively new into like the pop punk scene, like I was more getting into the Wonder Years when everybody else was getting like check out the story so far, and I'm like I really like this band, the Wonder Years.
Yeah.
So like it's like I really think it depends on like which foray of pop punk you were in. Like were you in more of like the Mano, Story So Far, like Newfound Glory-esque, or like this like sadder side of like the Wonder Years Real Friends and this and that. And like I definitely fell in like the Wonder Years Real Friends side.
Oh fuck yeah! So I would assume that's like most of your inspiration, from bands that you listened to growing up?
Yeah, like I listened to, like, I love the story so far. Like I listened to, like, I just love pop punk in general, because as like at me as a lyricist, like, it's awesome because, like, I feel like they're great lyrics. I feel like they're really well thought out. I feel like they're really invested in them, the emotion that goes behind them. And one of my gripes with, like, modern music is, like, you could interchange the artist with the lyrics, not necessarily the song, but the lyrics.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
for sure.
So it's just like, it's like hearing, like, these songs where, like, they are, like, so, like, they mean something to them. They're not just another song lyrically. It was like, that's really what drew me into, like, the punk scene and pop punk in general.
What about you, Aaron? Like, what's your go-to fucking inspiration musically?
To bring it back to your question from before, I don't feel like I answered it very well, but like,
No,
I probably did.
what the sort
Adam's
of,
on
you
top
know,
of his shit today. You both are. It's fine.
yeah, what the vision is like, fuck, man, if I could be a pure noise band, I know a lot of people have that sort of vision, but like, I feel like we are very close to that sort of sound. And I don't do a whole lot of writing. I've had a few, like, demos that we've put together, you know, like, over the past few months, but I think, like, that's the direction that, like, the big, you know, like the majority of pop punk fans are going to eventually, or it'll split towards, like, sort of that pure noise kind of heavier sound. And then there's the other half of pop punk that's, you know, very, like, Water Parks-esque and all that. I think where our fans are going to come from is that other direction, the pure noise direction. I love my 4 Years Strong. Obviously, like, Knocked Loose is not a pop punk band, and you can say what you want about them. I know a lot of people think they're generic. I've been, you know, bumping them for like
It's
6 years at this point.
mainstream. That's why.
Yeah,
they're generic.
exactly.
They literally, like, capitalized on hardcore music entirely. Like,
Yeah.
hardcore
And they have-
music is very hard to get into, let alone
They
having a
have their
mainstream band.
brand, and they've stuck with it. Like,
Yeah.
I used to do booking here in Poughkeepsie, and one of the shows
Oh,
that we
shit.
co-booked. We co-booked a show. It was Knocked Loose, the Agnostic Front, and you're talking, like, forefathers of, like some of the, like, the older,
generations.
like,
Yeah.
like some of the forefathers of, like, hardcore, and then, like, Knocked Loose. And I mean it when I say, like, Knocked Loose drew twice the amount of people that Agnostic Front did.
Oh yeah, dude, we had a fucking Knocked Loose came through New Jersey. There's a place called Game Changers, and one of the security guards fucked up, and I think they like kind of like beat the shit out of some person who was moshing or whatever. And it was a girl. Like, it was really fucked up. Like, she was just she was like a little scrawny thing, and like the security guard was massive, and like I guess he like kind of threw her, or he was very rough with her, and like the whole community was like fucking up in arms. And Game Changer canceled the fucking show. Well, Knocked Loose and the rest of that tour package went to Champs in New Jersey, which is a dive bar in fucking Trenton, New Jersey. It's a fucking hole-in-the-wall bar. Every hardcore show has been fucking through there, dude. You name it. Fit for an Autopsy, Attila. I mean, they're not hardcore, they're metalcore, but like any fucking hardcore band you can imagine, Jesus Piece, like they came through, and Knocked Loose fucking had that fucking crowd there,
Wow.
bro. Like,
Yeah.
shoulder to shoulder, bro. Like they really fucking, you know, do well in that scene. But to go back to what you were saying, dude, I think this sound definitely fits pure noise. Unfortunately, I'm not a fan of, like, I would love to, like, as you know, me personally, I would love to be signed to Fearless or Rise or whatever, but at times
I do love Fearless.
Me too. They just signed Until I
love
Wake,
Fearless.
and I'm super stoked for them. But just sometimes it's not about the label. It's just about the contract that you get. Like, perfect example, like Carousel Kings, they got signed to Victory, and a lot of people were like, oh, they're gonna fuck them over, this and that, blah blah blah. But dude, like, to be honest, like, I talked to Jeremy, who manages them, who owns CI, who basically is my boss. But dude, like, they got a pretty good fucking marketing contract. Like, Victory put a lot of money out for them, and like
Them
for
and We
music
Were Sharks, I
videos.
think, right?
Yeah, we were. Well, no,
Yeah.
We Were Sharks is on. I was just gonna bring them up because they're on Revival Records. Which I don't know a whole lot about Revival Records,
Neither
and
do I.
I know they're definitely the biggest artist on there, but
100%.
they have a compelling reason to be on there, I'm sure. I don't know what the exact financials are, but like, if you find a label that's like, you know, you are you're a great revenue driver. Like at the end of the day, it's a business. You're a great
Correct.
revenue driver.
Correct.
We want to support you, and we can financially support you in ways that other labels would not go ahead and do. I mean, that there you're making your music career. Like
Yes.
that's what a music career is.
And you really nailed it on the head, though. Like, it depends on the contract they're going to give you, because, like, sometimes they'll give you the contract where, like, you go from just another band in the crowd to the band, and it doesn't have to be the biggest named label in the world. It doesn't have to be Pure Noise. That being said, don't fall for, like, I've gotten sent some, like, contracts, like, we're going to take everything and give you nothing. And I was like, haha, no.
No.
But
well, that's why I like
but
CI
nice
because
try,
like when we got the example of like the contract, I'm not gonna tell you the details, but basically the guy was like, use me as a stepping stone. Like Jeremy was like, dude, use me as a stepping stone. I can help you in any way I can. I just own the rights to your music, basically. And it's like, okay, so we owe you 2 albums. However, if we want to get bought out or he's not gonna tell us what we can and cannot write. It's basically like a DIY label to be like, I'll fund you when it in any way, shape, or form I can and help you in certain ways, but you still gotta put a lot of work in.
Mhm.
And dude, he paid for our albums, our physical copies. He paid for our banner when we were on Warped Tour. Like, dude, it was fucking cool. I'm still fucking boys with him. We might be doing a TikTok panel this year. Fucking crazy.
Nice.
Like, who the fuck would have thought a TikTok panel would actually be a relevant thing in the music industry? However, fucking it's just crazy that labels can really make or break a band sometimes, depending on like, because if they starve you, dude, like I don't know,
Mhm.
like
look at the Wonder Years. They're a great example when they started on No Sleep as opposed to Hopeless, like how it totally changed their career.
Yeah, you don't want to be a starving musician when you're signed to a label because like you need to have some kind of morale to move forward and keep making great music. So
Yeah.
But I think this band and this sound definitely fits Pure Noise. It's just hopefully they offer you a contract if that ever happens.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
it's a good contract, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not saying he's gonna email us, tomorrow and be like, hey, I understand usually I think especially now with Spotify being so hard to like make money off of that, labels also too, that affects their revenue streams as well. So a lot of smaller labels may reach out, you get the resources, you get a little bit of, like you said, a stepping stone, and then people move on. Like not to say that like necessarily Mutant League is a stepping stone at all. I think they're one of the best independent labels out there right now. But a lot of their artists have gotten big on Mutant League, and then have been able to move on to other ones. But like you still have that sort of legacy as like you're one of the labels that has rocket shipped some people to like great heights.
Yep.
Yeah, Equal Vision hit me up.
That's why I was just thinking about that. I think Equal Vision would actually be perfect for this band, especially with this song and like what will come out in the near future. If it's like what you're saying, it sounds similar, and this is what you're going for. I think Equal Vision would be actually a perfect fit. They have
They got some of our besties. Well,
I just got off the fucking Skype with calling all captains. So like
they got calling all captains, and like
cool.
we're pretty good friends with the Young Culture boys.
Young Culture's cool as fuck. I had him on the podcast too. Also,
Yeah.
I don't care. I mean, I do care. I hope you guys aren't mad, but like, they didn't get the link, but I showed them your song and they fucking loved it.
Young Culture?
Oh yeah.
No, calling all captains.
Yo,
No,
tell him to
you
hit me up.
shared it, dude. Thank you,
want me to?
man.
Yeah, I'll
Tell
tell
him
him
to
to hit
hit
you up.
Be like, yo,
Yeah.
hit up Adam. He'll talk your ear off for days, and
Yeah.
let's do some fucking shows.
Yeah, I'll fucking hook you guys up. Like, I just got.
Dude, I appreciate
Dude,
that.
Nick's
man.
cool as fuck, dude. The bass player. Oh my god, I was like, bro, you should start a podcast. You know what I was
I
thinking?
think we follow them on TikTok because they've had some great like bassist TikToks, and that's like what I'll do sometimes because I'm sort of the
That's
I
like all
handle
our
all that.
as a basis. Like
So they're like,
that's like
dude,
so
so
we have this,
funny
like,
on
running
that,
show
yeah.
is like our TikTok, and then we're really good friends with the guys from Real Talk, and their TikTok and our TikTok are both run by basses. So everything that we post is about playing bass.
Oh fuck yeah, dude.
I have unlimited power, but I also recognize bass isn't a real instrument, So like, we have fun
I
here.
wish Zach was here, dude. Oh my god, dude. He's an actual bassist too, which I love. I love that he's an actual bassist. Like, he's not a guitar player that plays bass. He's a bassist.
Yeah.
So
We had
That's what I am too. Not because I was like, oh, this is a choice. It was just like I don't want to play guitar because it's hard.
We've had like, I have to say, like my tenure in music, I've had really good fucking luck with bassists because Aaron is now the second bassist that I've come across in my musical career that actually was a bassist, not a guitarist forced to play bass. So I was like, yes, I found two in a lifetime. I was so happy.
Dude, it's rare. It's rare. And like when we didn't have a bass player for Poeta, I was like, he was already being a co-host. I was like, you want to fucking join Poeta? He's like, yeah, okay, let's go. Let's fucking do it. So, in retrospect, what's the idea for you guys playing live? Because I'm sure you have shows upcoming because the pandemic is starting to finally fucking disintegrate all in all. So, what do we expect for show-wise or tour-wise in the near future?
So we have the ones we are announced already coming up. So August 19th, 20th, and 21st, we're playing all in New York. I think it's...
Here, I got it. Ready? Yeah, so August 19th,
Nope.
we're playing in Caledonia, New York, which is just outside of Rochester.
Lanes.
Very cool spot. Raider Lanes. It's a bowling alley, but I guess also the guy who owns it or manages or whatever is very into like, music. I think also maybe just, like punk rock or like kind of the scene bands, all that stuff. So yes, 8/19 is Raider Lanes, Caledonia, New York. August 20th is Central New York. That is Black Oak Tavern in Oneonta. Very much near the college out there and all that. And then August 21st is actually a DIY venue that our friend runs called Sanctuary. And if you guys are in the area, if you're in the Hudson Valley and you need the address, just literally hit us up on Instagram.
I'm going to drive home something or two about Sanctuary. It's literally a house show and it's going to fucking pop.
Fuck yeah, that's the only fucking good show is a house show because people go fucking nuts.
Yeah, we played our first ever show back in December 2020. Just before we got Aaron, actually, we had our good old friend Backtrack as our bass. And
Mr. Backtrack.
Yeah, and we played there and fucking gnarly. So it's a fun. It's gonna be a fun show to come to.
I'm stoked for you guys. That's awesome. I'm just glad this fucking world is starting to open back up, and our industry has been very, very, very fucking patient with trying to get everything back to a reality in a sense,
Aaron and I too were both wheelers and dealers, so like I know for sure like I got a few coals in the fires, maybe something coming along with the goalkeeper boys, maybe something coming along with our besties there in Real Talk. Maybe keep your eyes peeled, maybe get on the socials, drop the follows, see what comes on out. I think you'll be impressed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And in general, who would you love to tour with in like in retrospect, like as a like if you wanted to be on a tour package, like what would your lineup be?
All right, I'll go first and I'll let Aaron go. But I got two for sure. I do love the Wonder Years, but I gotta get real for a minute. Would love to go with 4 Years Strong, just because this shows. I'm a fucking massive 4 Years Strong fan, which I'm sure you can hear in our music, and
a little bit.
Some of the best shows I've ever been to in my entire life. There's high energy, and some of the greatest people I've met at their shows. Just would love it. Another one, and again, real close to the heart here, is Less Than Jake, because I don't think I've ever had more fun at a show than at a Less Than Jake show. And I'll leave it at that.
And me, well, that Pure Noise tour that they just announced is really sick. But
State Champs, like 4 Years Strong, fucking dude, it's a powerhouse.
Can they even? Is that even legal? Can they do that?
It's not legal, dude. That's fucking illegal.
And you got Real Friends on there.
I want to
too.
see
like,
the
everything
and they do have Real
permit.
Friends on there. That's right.
Yeah. But like I think we would fit well, and this might also just be me being biased because I listen to these bands, but I would love to be on a lineup with like the story so far. Seaway is a band that I have grown to love tenfold this year.
Seaway is super underrated.
The shirt he's wearing.
I mean,
oh no shit, really?
It's a Seaway summer, baby.
About them, I was like, bands that are extremely underrated. Seaway, like, dude, they're so fucking catchy. Big Vibe is a goddamn bop. Like, what?
If they are listening to this show, they'd make me really happy if just one time they played the basics. Just one time. I just want to hear it once.
Just one time. Well, dude, fucking just, go to a show and, like, literally, like, when they're on tour, they don't have to play that show or they don't have to play that song. But when you show up, they have to play that song. You know what I mean?
I was just like, hey, like I don't even care if you play in your set. Can you just grab an acoustic and sing it to me in the parking lot? Would be good.
Oh, that would work too. Yeah.
And, final band I would love to play a show with, and they've grown on me like a ton this year. Or I guess I would say, or two bands, sorry. And they sort of similar sound, I think, back in the day, one more so, but Settle Your Scores. Like Christian Fisher's become one of my really good friends over this pandemic. We interviewed him for the podcast, and I've been listening to them since 2016, since they released The Wilderness. And like, I know they're more going pop punk now, but like, I think that would be such a fun show to go to. I think
Easy Revival 2K21.
Yeah, they've gotten like the recognition they deserve. I think they deserve more, but I think they got the recognition they deserve this year. And also action adventure. I think the way our sound's moving is sort of not in the easy core way that they used to be, but like a more similar to their newer stuff. And it's just like heavy pop punk music. I've yet to see a band live like that, I think, just with the way life has been. But I would fucking love to not only play that show, I would be immediately in the crowd after the set.
I love how Aaron was like, I'm going to go realistic, and I'm going to be like, no, I'm going to go just like, I just fucking like these bands.
I mean, we just need like another like 50,000 listeners, and I think we'll have better chances.
Nah, it's going to happen very, very soon. And if for the people that are not watching us on YouTube right now, that are listening, how do they find you on your socials?
So Instagram.
OnlyFans.
Yeah, OnlyFans. I have it. Just so you know, it's all our guitarist Avery, because he's just fun to sell. And
great feet on that guy.
He's got a nice average schlong.
He's got that. Good. He's got, it's good. It's bigger than mine.
It's not great, but it's good. You know what I mean? It's not intimidating.
Pays the bills.
It's comforting.
It's comforting. I use that as an ASMR sound when I fall asleep.
He's going to listen to this, and I can already tell you, he's going to be redder than a lobster at that part.
but to answer your questions, all right, I'll do it. So if you want to find us on Instagram, that's probably the place you'll find us the easiest. It's WMSNY.
To the point.
On Facebook, same thing, WMSNY. And then also we've got TikTok. We're trying to grow that. We had one video go viral, but like you could maybe help us out on the other stuff. It is literally all spelled out, what makes sense and why. And I'm missing Twitter, which is
WMSNY1.
Thank you.
Because somebody with one follower stole our name, and we can't get it back from him.
Come on, dude.
I think Aaron even hit him up like, hey, can we have our name? And they just never responded.
It was some lady who hasn't been on there since like 2018.
Don't be like that, dude.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Finally, you can find us on Parler at
America's Great.
America's Great.